Hey guys, this video comes to us from our friend Ethan Tufts. He's been a longtime supporter of Radwood and lives the rad life to a T. He came to Radwood as a fan, but we liked his work so much that we asked him to produce a few videos for our channel.
If you look around at the vehicles that I own, you can tell that I'm a big fan of the cars from the 80s and 90s. I'm also a big fan of the Radwood Car Show. It's a show that celebrates the culture of the 80s and 90s, along with the wickedly rad vehicles from that era. The Northern California Radwood Show is tomorrow, and I'd really like to have a car in that show. You'd think with all these 80s and 90s vehicles at my disposal, I'd be good to go, right? Unfortunately, they're all broken. My 87 Fifth Avenue won't pass emissions. My 86 Stanza wagon is teeming with electrical gremlins. My Geo Prism is far too dilapidated to attend a car show, and my radical Pontiac Turbo Grand Prix has all sorts of issues that make it unsafe to drive. And yes, I do have my very reliable Chevy Nova twin cam, but I already brought that one to the last Radwood. So what does that mean? Finally fix all of my needy cars? Of course not. It means I should buy another car, of course. Let's go. Check it out, my latest Radwood-era car purchase. I just bought this incredibly fine 1997 BMW 740iL. This is the long wheelbase version of the 7 Series, which places emphasis on rear passenger comfort, adding over 5 extra inches, all going to the rear seat legroom. If you were a CEO in 1997, this is the status symbol that you would want to drive around in. And if you were a dignitary in 1997, this is the car you'd want to be chauffeured around in. Check out this back seat. The 740iL has a 282 horsepower 4.4 liter V8 and has a ton of standard features, many of which don't work anymore. I didn't pay very much for this car, and from 10 feet away, it looks pretty fantastic. But when you look closely, you start to notice all the little things that are wrong with it. That said, it's still one of the finest uber luxury sedans from the late 90s. And I think it's gonna be a really nice 400-mile ride up to San Francisco, unless something goes wrong. Wish me luck! So I've only driven this car maybe 5 miles so far. I don't know exactly how many miles I've driven because this display is completely messed up. All the pixels are gone. And so far, the ride is pretty nice. I mean, it's really quiet, it's super comfortable, and I'm definitely rolling in style. This thing is an incredibly fine machine. So anytime I buy a used car, which is actually quite frequently, I always have a little tinge of disappointment after I drive away from the seller. This time, as soon as I drove away, the check engine light turned on. That was fun. But even though there's probably some major mechanical problems, I'm just really looking forward to this drive up the 101 freeway towards San Francisco. Dark out, and we still have several hours to go. So far, so good. The BMW 740iL is running great, knock on wood. I think this is real wood, maybe. I'm gonna drive just a little bit further, grab a hotel room, and tomorrow, Radwood. Okay, I just got my fine Chariot washed and I'm just about ready to head to Radwood, but I can't go just dressed like this. No, this is Radwood, a celebration of the 80s and 90s culture, not just the cars. This is what happens when you buy your outfit for Radwood before you buy the car. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I'm gonna just rock with it. All right, man, I gotta get to the show. Let's go. Let's go. Where the is the driver? I gotta get to the show, man. I ain't driving myself. This is bull. All right, I'm gonna have to rock this BMW myself. So I don't know if you remember my last video about Radwood, but there was a point in that video where I said that I didn't feel ridiculous in my 80s outfit. Well, this time around, I kind of feel a little ridiculous.
You here to just go to work?
Yep, just going to work.
Sorry about all the lines.
I know, there's so many 80s cars in the way. It's really kind of annoying. This Scirocco brings back memories. I owned an 87 16 valve back in the 90s. It was easily the most unreliable car I ever owned, but the nostalgia center of my brain is run by a masochist, so I kind of want another one. Holy crap, a Sunbird! We gotta look at this.
When was the last time you saw a Sunbird, especially a convertible?
94 Pontiac Sunbird LE. There's no reason why this car should even exist now. How did this make it to 2018 with only 56,000 miles? Do you know how many were built?
Somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500. The best estimates that I've heard is that there's maybe 200 left in varying condition.
What drew you to this car?
The first car I ever had was a different version. It was a Celica Custom Convertible in '81. This was kind of the next best thing that I could find. If I don't have to go out of town for work, I take it every day to the office. I drive it all the time. What's nice about it is that even though it's very rare, all the mechanical parts are really easy to get your hands on. But we take it to shows and rallies and stuff down in Southern California, up here, and we do all kinds of road trips in it.
The last time I saw one with a hatchback.
Yeah, you don't see them very often.
No.
Even junkyard parts shopping, I've only seen one.
So if you need like any of those parts, you should probably buy all of them.
Pretty much.
Yep. Did you set out to buy a Camry or would you come across it?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So, as everybody with lots of project cars, we needed another one because none of the project cars were running. And I'm browsing through Craigslist, looking through 80s Toyotas, and I come across this, and I'm selling her on it, going, look, it's so ugly, it's got to run good. Before you know it, I was down the rabbit hole browsing Japanese brochures, going, it came in Japan with the 3S motor. Let's buy a Celica and put the 3S in it. Then custom suspension, and it's just been a downward spiral since then.
This is the coolest Camry I've ever seen. So I just heard somebody say there's less than 200 of these built.
Correct.
Yes.
I've actually never seen one.
Yeah.
As most people probably have never seen one.
Well, this is the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
It's the only one. These were built at a coach company in Southern California and sold through Ford dealers. It's Ford Fairmont based.
Now, what made you purchase this car? What was the impetus?
Because it's different.
Yeah.
You know, it stands out. And part of it was so I could go to Good Guys and run in the truck class for the autocross.
Oh, sweet. So you're autocrossing this
Yeah.
thing? How does it
It's
do?
all set up. Well, I won it.
You won it, okay.
So
it does
worked
okay.
pretty good.
Yeah. That's great that a one of 200 car is winning autocrosses.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out being enjoyed.
It's a Durango. What the hell's a Durango?
You showed up in zebra pants. I mean, that's a win-win right there.
It only had 42,000 original miles when I bought
Whoa.
it. And now it's got 58. Like I took it to Zion and Grand Canyon last summer. Stayed cool. It drove. It was totally reliable. It drives like a new van. It's crazy. LED lights in the ceiling, like party lights. And
Yeah.
it's a blast. I have friends come from out of state and I take them to wine country or something, and it's like a limo. It's
Yeah.
great.
That's awesome.
Everybody loves it. All my friends call it the Fam Wag.
The fan wag.
It's got its own name. Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, Zima. Isn't it nice that they brought that back just in time for Radwood?
I've got a cold one if you want one.
I would actually take you up on that.
All right.
Radwood approved.
And I figured that you'd be coming, so I brought you a
Whoa!
little phone to go with your car.
That's awesome.
Kind of the same period.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
No worries, man. It's yours.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is my buddy's car, actually. It was supposed to be at the last Radwood, and it got stolen right before, and he got it Yeah. So they stole everything out of the car, and then they came back to his house 3 days later because they found his address on the registration, and then they stole the car. We get a call and they found it in San Francisco with 2 people passed out on meth, like wasted out in the seat. And then
Very
they just
90s.
Yeah, that is very nice.
they left everything. The cops didn't care. They brought it to the impound yard, and there were meth pipes, needles, stolen cell phones, car keys to other cars, car stealing tools. And I was driving the car back, and I'm like, we just got to get all this stuff out of here. And
You definitely win for look, dude.
That's
Thank you. That's like the shining light at the end of the tunnel because I feel ridiculous.
you kind of look like maybe like you were like a rock legend that just like hung on a little too long. Just hasn't wised up that the 80s are over, you know?
One of my favorite cars at the show is a Geo. Look at this thing.
It doesn't get much more rad than this.
No. So you're walking around trying to make decisions right now, then.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Import is... That's up there. And then we need raddest dressed. Who could possibly be
raddest dressed?
Be raddest dressed?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
All right, looks like people are starting to file out. Let's see if they're giving any awards away.
I basically just made the car to bring a smile to everyone's face.
Thank you. Art, you want to do raddest dressed?
All right, so there's some pretty cool outfits out there, you know. I mean, we got some rad wigs out here, leather jackets, you know, all sorts of stuff. The best in show by far, though, was that man right there with a camera that is dressed like that.
What would you describe your attire as?
Very warm. I don't know if you know, but spandex doesn't breathe very well.
We are happy to present you with the raddest dressed award. There you go. And our last award, raddest in show.
The absolute raddest in show today was the 1982 DeLorean Custom that was over there.
It's just been an amazing day. Thanks, everybody.
See you later.
Holy shit, I won something. I don't know if in any other world this can be considered best dressed, but at Radwood, it is.
Look at my rad swag.
All right, Radwood NorCal, it was crazy. I gotta take this spandex off. I'm officially the last one to leave. I guess I'll lock up. Holy cow, there must have been 500-600 cars there. It was insane. And I'm glad that there were just a ton of those forgotten cars, like that hatchback Camry and that Pontiac Sunbird, and just so many great stories surrounding these cars. My 97 BMW 740 IL is still allowing me to cruise back to Los Angeles in style. Check engine light's still on, so that's fun. A couple more interior pieces fell off while at Radwood. But even with those minor inconveniences, this car is still providing a luxurious experience 21 years later. A lot of cars from this era have just sort of become unloved and forgotten by the general populace. And it's really great to see a group of car enthusiasts that are really keeping these things alive and keeping them going and sharing the stories. And yeah, Radwood's rad. Radwood is rad. It's a little bit after midnight, but we made it home. The 800-mile round trip in my 1997 BMW 740 IL, and I got to see a really wide range of some pretty cool cars today. I gotta get some sleep, because I gotta dream about what car I'm gonna get next week. All right, going to bed. See you later. Bye! If you enjoyed this video, check out Ethan's channel, Hello Road. For future Radwood dates and merch, check out radwood.org or click the links below.